Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of One Big Happy Business. I'm Justin Smith, your host, and today I'm joined by the one and only Peter Roberti from Adrian Jules Custom Clothier. Peter, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Justin. Thanks for having me.
It's so exciting to have you here today.
Yeah, super excited to be a part of this.
Yeah, third generation family business owner, purveyor, clothier, custom tailor in your world, right?
Yeah.
I mean, is it amazing?
Pretty special.
That's
Thank
cool.
you.
Cool.
Thank
Well, we're going to get into that. I wanted to kind of first talk to you a little bit about something that you and I have in common, and you probably didn't know this, but my mother and her mother, so my grandmother,
Yeah.
owned a women's clothing fashion store
Really?
in Clover Commons,
Huh.
right across the street from where you guys are on Monroe Avenue today. And they yes, this is the world I grew up in. You didn't know that about me. With all the fashion,
I didn't know that.
you know, I'm so fashionable. My mother, my grandmother, and as a matter of fact, my grandfather Mike was their accountant. He was like the back office guy. He made sure all the numbers were all right all the time. But I grew up in this world. I remember going to this store. It literally was where like Basha is today. you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. I know exactly.
and they had that whole corner there, and I remember Peter Salerno was the jeweler in there, and I used to go in there with my brother and sister, and we'd hide behind all the women's clothes and play hide and seek while my mom was working there. And then, they had all the little Italian ladies in the back that were the seamstresses, and they asked, "Oh, Justin, you're so cute," and they pinched my cheek. So my question to you is did that ever happen to you as a little guy? I mean,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, Peter. So tell me about that. What was it like growing up in that world?
Yeah,
Like,
it
wait,
was-
think about it. I was like 7 or 8, 9, 10 years old.
That's funny. Well, listen, it all makes sense now. But yeah, no, that was it. That's what we did. You grew up in the business, and yeah, I would go into the shops, and that it was part of growing up and into the factory because my grandfather had a tailor shop.
Yeah.
All the tailors and everyone, they loved when his grandkids would come into the shop because it was joy, it was love, so it was awesome. Yeah.
The other thing I used to love about it, I don't know if you had this experience as well, but there was always good food. Like somebody's always making manicotti, or they had cannolis or something.
yeah.
Something going on. It was amazing. Like, because my mother's Italian. I mean, I grew up with DiCarlo Italian. My great grandmother, like, literally never spoke a word of English. I was all Italian until the very last days. And
Oh yeah.
it was just incredible, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So good food.
Yeah.
Every repeat cheese.
Yeah, we would, my grandfather, they would start really early, and then they would take these long lunches, and they would have, they had pasta, they have the cannolis. It was like a dinner at lunch.
That's right. And were they all like sleeping?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
On the sewing machines later in the day?
Oh
Hey,
yeah.
wake up. It's time to get working again, right? So I love that. That's awesome. Well, listen, in all seriousness, I thought that was kind of an interesting story,
Yeah,
but I
didn't know that.
I obviously didn't get into women's clothing. But thank God, as for all the ladies out there, because I have no idea what the heck's going on when it comes to it. Even my wife will tell you that. So let's dive into Adrian Jules.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about so Grandpa Adriano.
Yep.
Comes over from Italy.
Yeah.
And lands here in the United States of America. Makes his way to Rochester, New York. Tell me like the origin story of Adrian Jules. And I know he had a business partner too. And
Yeah,
all that
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so he was handpicked by Hickey Freeman actually to run the factory.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was, at the time, I think he was 22, 23 years old. And he was from a town outside of Milan.
Okay.
So he was brought over by Hickey Freeman to run the shop. Yeah, and at the time though, he was 22, 23 years old. So
Running a shop.
yeah, and the tailors were all a little bit older, and yes.
There's a hierarchy in all cultures, especially the Italian culture, right?
Yeah, exactly. So he actually started Adrian Jules with his partner Giulio in his basement.
Yeah.
And
And did they do that because they were just like, I can't do this Hickey Freeman thing anymore? These people aren't nice to me, or what?
I think it was kind of a combination. He wanted to prove it that he was worthy of why they handpicked him, and that's when he started this business. So he would actually, so they started the business just in his basement, and it was strictly a private label business.
Sure.
So he would go back and forth to Detroit and he would sell to dealers that had their own custom clothing shops, and he would make the clothes in the basement. He'd drive overnight to Detroit. I'm sorry, during the day, and he'd drive overnight to Detroit and deliver them. And
Why Detroit?
I I I think it was I don't actually know how he landed on or why he picked Detroit, but I know it was with the cars and everything like that. It was just
This was where like people were buying beautiful suits.
yeah,
right?
that's
Yeah.
it. That was his first introduction. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And so like pretty incredible story. Or I understand that he arrived with like $33 in his
Yeah.
pocket, and not just $33, but all in dimes.
All in time.
I mean, how does like somebody walk around with $33 in dimes?
He was
Big pockets.
yeah. Yeah, Taylor's pockets. He had to make him extra top. But no, he was told in Italy that the dimes were worth more if he yeah, so he exchanged it into dimes and he brought it over. Yeah.
No way. Was somebody busting his chops, I think?
I don't know, but yeah, that's the story. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so then yeah, his partner Giulio got sick, and my grandfather really couldn't afford to change the name.
Yeah.
And yeah,
And he went back to Italy, right?
Yeah.
His partner.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And then yeah, yeah, you've done your research. Yeah, so then he
That's my job. I'm the host back.
so yeah, so he couldn't afford to change the name.
Yeah.
And he kept the name. 64 years later, here we are.
Yeah. So, we'll bounce around here a little bit,
Yeah.
but you mentioned Hickey Freeman, and obviously Hickey Freeman has a real special place in the Rochester community and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
can you talk a little bit about like Hickey Freeman and just how it influenced sort of the world you live in on a daily basis?
Oh,
here, right? The men's clothing world specifically.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think there's a lot of really, really good companies and custom tailor shops, Hickey Freeman being one of them. And I think that was a really big draw to have. Rochester was one of the landing spots that tailors would go, to kind of, to hone their craft and work. And build a life here in a family. So Hickey Freeman, we've got a lot of tailors that came from Hickey Freeman.
Right. So Hickey Freeman is no longer here in Rochester, obviously, pretty sad thing,
Yeah.
but I have to imagine that you and your organization have been the beneficiaries of them sort of moving out of town, right? To some extent?
To some
Yes or no?
extent, yeah. To some extent, yes. To be honest, if they were here, that would also still help us too, because people would still relocate to Rochester for Hickey Freeman.
Yeah, for those.
But since they moved out, we've also got their best tailors too.
That's
That
where
makes
I was kind of going.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I was figuring.
Yeah.
I know that when people think of I don't want to talk about people. When I think about Adrian Jules, I often think about the retail storefronts, right?
Yeah.
And the experience that
Sure.
I've had with you and that others have had with you, and then the retail location that you have in Buffalo now. But there's a pretty big back office operation, right? I mean, how many tailors do you have?
Yeah, we got about 60 tailors.
That's amazing.
Yeah, 60 tailors, almost 100 people now that work for us.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's
I don't think
pretty
people
special.
really understand that. That's a pretty significant operation.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate
that's
that.
really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, all here in Rochester, which is made in America.
Are you proud of that?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's
Yeah.
it's very special. And yeah, going into that factory, into our into our shop on Irondequoit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's you could feel my grandfather still walking around,
Right.
in the shop through the walls. So it's awesome.
That is really, really
Yeah, it's
cool.
cool.
That feels good. Good. All right. Well, let's move on from Gramp and talk about Dad,
Yeah.
Peter, and also talk about Uncle Arnie. So they come into the business and they take this incredible, foundation that Grandpa's started, and they've taken it to another whole level. And we'll get to the whole another level you're taking it to in a second here. But tell me about that journey for the two of them, and how they sort of. It's my understanding that it's sort of divided and conquered. Your father kind of handled the retail side, and
Yep.
your uncle handles the wholesale side of the work.
Yeah, yeah.
Talk-
Yeah, it's interesting. I think that every generation kind of puts their mark on it. And I think my dad and my Uncle Arnie are they're amazing. They're two mentors of mine. I love working with both of them and my cousin Alexa too.
Yeah.
But yeah, my dad. So we never had a retail store.
Right.
So actually, it's almost 50 years now. We do these trade shows in New York City, in Chicago, and Las Vegas.
Do they call them trunk shows still? Do they do? Is that not really a right?
We do. So a trunk show would be more on the retail side.
Gotcha.
The trade shows would be where or industry wide, where there's tailors, there's buyers, there's fabric mills. Everyone from the industry would come.
Right.
So hundreds of people.
Yeah.
And my grandfather, we were only doing private label. So we call it wholesale. So so if a shop were to open up or if you wanted to open up a shop in North Carolina, it was Carolina's custom tailor shop. You need someone to make the clothes. That's where Adrian Jules comes into play. So we were the margins were very small. I mean, my dad and my uncle and my grandma and grandfather, they were just getting by, and my dad tells a story that he bumped into one of my grandfather's dealers, and he said that, Adrian, you made me a multimillionaire. And here, my grandfather and my dad's family, they were, really just grinding over I need. So my dad said,
that happened?
I'm gonna make a retail store.
That's right.
And he just went out and he did it.
Hey, so when did the retail operation start? Like when?
About 50 years ago.
50. So it's been a while.
Yeah.
Right. It's been a while.
Yeah. So about 50 years now.
And then, so Rochester's the retail location. Then recently, though, it's been just a few years that you've had the Buffalo location, right?
Yeah.
Main Street, how many years?
So on Main Street, so we've been just over a year now on Main Street.
Okay.
We've been on Transit Road, but we moved into a new location that is similar to the one in Rochester.
Right. Yeah. It's beautiful.
It's basically the same thing. Yeah.
That's cool. And you, of course, you're a Niagara Purple Eagle, so you're familiar with the whole market up there. The Buffalo market.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're pretty proud of that, being a Purple Eagle.
Yeah. Listen, it can't hurt, right?
No, that's great. That's great. I have one question about being a Purple Eagle.
Yeah.
I've been to some pretty cool campuses in my life.
Yeah.
The University of Vermont, where my son went, my brother went.
Sure.
Really cold up there in Burlington, Vermont, right?
Yeah.
Windy, coming off Lake Champlain. But off of that Niagara escarpment, it's got to be pretty cold in the winter.
Oh,
right?
Walking around class, no fun. It was brutal.
Fall, spring, really nice.
Yeah, fall and spring is gorgeous, but yeah, you have to have your heavy flannels on, that's for sure.
Yeah. That's unbelievable. So, kind of getting back to Dad and Uncle Arnie, and the wholesale versus the retail side of the business. When today, fast forward to today, what's the breakdown in terms of the size of the business? Is it 50-50? Is it 75-25?
Yeah.
What's it look like?
Retail's probably retail I know is around 67%.
Yeah.
And then wholesale is the remaining.
Great.
Yeah. So before
growing.
Yeah, it used to be, over since COVID, actually, we've kind of retail's continued to grow, and I mean, we still have a really nice wholesale business, but we are at a point where there's a capacity issue, where we can only make so many suits,
right?
And if we've got more retail suits that are going through, retail garments that are going through the shop, though that's better for us.
That's right. Yeah. No, I totally understand. That's where the margins are. Yeah. Hey, listen, we're talking to a bunch of business owners here, and they understand margins and where the money is, right? I mean, that's where you're here to make money and provide for your family, and that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing, right?
Yeah. So we always
totally get it.
We always kind of do each year we kind of do an analysis, and we say, okay, let's go through all of our dealers, and we want to analyze them. Who's growing? Who we want to keep the best dealers,
right?
And grow with them and work with them, and slowly continue to add the retail store at a, we can't just open up stores,
no,
but we strategically continue to open up stores, and it's been working for us. Yeah.
So how many total stores?
On the retail side, we've got the one in Rochester, Buffalo. We've got a gal in Nashville who's an absolute rock star, and we're working on one in Saratoga.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. Spreading across I-90 here in New York State.
Up and down the 90.
That's good. That's cool. That's cool. So when you, I guess this is just inquisitive minds want to know,
Yeah.
like, how many suits do you guys make a year? How many coats do you make a year? I mean,
We
sport
do.
coats,
Yeah.
shirts. I mean, like these are
We we do a good amount. Yeah.
yeah.
So it's around it's around 20,000. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah. So
wow.
yeah. So it's good.
So
We've been very
that's
fortunate. Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Well, congratulations. That's an amazing business.
Yeah.
It's amazing business. So, I guess going back to dad and uncle for a
Yeah.
second, how
Sure.
did they decide to divide and conquer? Because that's something that I think families need to do when
Oh
there's
yeah.
multiple people in the organization. I know my brother and I definitely divided and conquered, right? Like I'm handling more of the operations, finance,
Sure.
some of the back office stuff. He's been very much on the, sales and marketing front. Not that I don't get involved in those type of things, but you just can't doesn't scale if everybody's trying to do
I
the same things.
Yeah, I couldn't agree
Yeah.
more. I think that, having, giving, because we've got 4 family members and,
Right.
involved, actually 5, but having complete ownership within a department or a division of the company allows that person to grow.
Right.
And so I think that, my uncle he loves he loves being a part of the factory, the operationals, just understanding, how the whole thing works and putting it all together. Where my dad, really leads with love and passion.
People
And
guy.
yeah,
It's like you.
he just loves it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what just fills him up. And so that's how they kind of divide it, and it's interesting. My cousin Alexa is kind of the same thing. She loves, is so good at doing all of that.
And that's Arnie's daughter.
Yeah,
That's cool.
and obviously I love doing
You
what I do.
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing.
You love being up there front and center, don't you?
Yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Right. I mean, I do feel like, when I walk in there that you're thoroughly enjoying yourself. I
Yeah.
mean, literally, and you get to put your creativity to work. You're a pretty creative guy. I mean, I see you doing your design, stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing a lot of the design, right? I mean, you're doing this.
I mean, it's we're very fortunate because we get to be a part of all of, some of the most important moments of these people's lives. And we've had guys, we've had a couple weeks ago, we had a guy that came in, got his first suit, and he came out of the he came out of the dressing room, and he was literally in tears. He just never thought that he was going to be able to afford something like this.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing. I mean, I'm just so grateful that I get to be a part of stuff like that.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Awesome.
That's really
Yeah,
cool.
it's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, that's good. Devil's in the detail too, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's all
well,
about the details.
yeah, that's we work with a lot of
Type A personnel.
yeah, it's so yeah, you've got to always be on. We have to always be on our game. Yeah, that's for sure.
All right. Well, let's move on to you. So, you and Alexa,
Yeah.
sorry, are the next generation, right? You still got dad and Uncle Arnie involved and everything like that. But at some point in time, hey, they're gonna wanna, go relax, have a little bit more fun. And
Yeah.
not that they're not having fun today, not that you guys don't love what you're doing. I know you do, but I'm just saying, like, it's gonna be a time. So, like,
Yeah.
how are you thinking about sort of what's next for Adrian
Sure.
Jules?
Yeah. We started kind of this transition process, you know, 5, 6, 7 years ago. And, we kind of wanted to, when we were ready to transition the business, we wanted all of our employees to say, oh, I thought Peter was already running the business, or I thought he already, so we wanted it to be really smooth.
Yeah.
So, now, my dad and my uncle, like, our goal is, like, we only want them to do what they love about the business.
Right.
All of the other stuff, we're going to have somebody else, hire somebody else to do it. We'll have part of the team do it. So that's, so that way, now my dad, he does everything that he loves to do.
Right.
So I think I got him, and he's got a new shoulder and 2 new knees. So I think I got him for another 10 years.
It's all right. But that's
Uh,
great, though, isn't it? I mean, like, look, I got to work with my father for many, many, many years, and obviously he's now retired and having fun and enjoying life, which he earned, right? But I mean, it's precious being able to work with your father, right, or your uncle, or your brother in my case, or your cousin and stuff like that. I mean, think about the amount of time you've got to spend with your dad.
Oh yeah, I mean, I get the chills just thinking about it. I think yeah, I did some of the times, the moments that I've been able to go with my dad to traveling, like I don't know if I wouldn't want to do it with anyone else. I think that's
Yeah.
just super special. So I think people look at it differently, but you kind of look at it just, that, I mean, listen, we have our moments,
Of course.
but I think that what we kind of agreed upon, um, that anything that comes up with us, communication, we say we're gonna resolve it. As soon as something's bothering us, we want to talk about it, resolve it, and then move on from it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, I mean, before we kind of before we would just stuff would build up.
Keep it inside.
You keep it inside, and all of a sudden, I didn't put the tape measure back, and
Where's
it was like it was like the end of the world. So,
Right.
so it's good. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm super fortunate. Super
That's cool.
fortunate. Yeah.
That's cool. You mentioned going down to New York. Is like Madison Avenue still a thing? Like, do people go down? Is that still Fashion Ave?
I mean, listen, New York, I love there's something about New York. When you're in New York, you just, you feel like you just you get dressed up, and yeah, the shop. Well, I mean, we were down there this past January. It was definitely different in terms of like all the shops, but the energy was there. I mean, it was it was a trade show that we had,
Yeah.
where all the custom tailors kind of come in, so everyone's dressed up. It was good energy. It was great energy. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I remember going back to the story. We used to remember when I was little. My mother, oh, where are you going, Mom? Oh, your grandmother and I are going down to New York. And she'd tell me about Madison Avenue, Fashion Avenue. I thought like this was like this really glitzy, cool place. And they were going down there, and then I went down there when I got a little older. I'm like walking down Madison Avenue. I said, this is okay. I don't realize it. I don't have an appreciation for it. Like,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool, right? I mean, it's the epicenter of
Oh yeah.
the clothing industry down
When
there,
you
for
go down
sure.
to New York, you're dressed a certain way. You look a certain way. 100%. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, that's cool. Um, Milan,
Yeah.
like Milan's still the epicenter of fashion, right?
Oh yeah, Milan. Oh yeah, in terms of the fashion, in terms of the fabrics. Oh yeah, Milan is amazing. I absolutely love
Do
Milan.
you go over there? Like, do you go?
Oh,
over
yeah.
there shopping for fabrics? Like, where do you go for shopping for the fabrics? So you go to New York for that, or do
Well,
people come to you nowadays? Because
no, yeah, that's a great question. So when we go to Milan, well, let me answer that question. So the fabric houses for when we do our trade shows, the CTA, the Custom Tailors Design Association, all of the mills will come in, and they'll show at the trade show.
okay, and they're coming from where?
They're coming in from Italy, a bunch of different mills in Italy, Northern England. They'll come in. Then there's some that are overseas as well.
In Asia? Like, no, not really.
Some from China as well.
China, yeah.
But the bulk of them majority of them will be in Italy.
Italy, yeah.
Yeah. And
Where the best wools are.
yeah.
Scotland.
So a lot of it is the water.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Tell me about that. I have no idea. Why is it about the water?
Oh yeah, the water. It's similar to like pizza. So yeah, so like in New
Another
York,
Italian. It's all Italian. The pizza, the water,
so
the clothes, the water.
if you have pizza down in Florida, there's nothing wrong with Florida pizza. But if you go and have pizza in New York,
Let's be honest.
yeah,
It's not like New York pizza.
I know exactly. So it's the same thing. So there was a very well-known mill that duplicated their mill. The same mill that they had in Italy, they tried to put it here in America. The exact same mill, but the fabrics weren't even close. Oh yeah, and it was all because of the water.
I can't even believe
Yeah,
that.
the water and the humidity.
Okay, now we're throwing in humidity. If I thought it was just the water, but now it's the humidity as well. So it's two things, at least.
Yeah, yeah. So
That's amazing.
yeah, so in Milan, in Biella is where. So it's about an hour and a half away from Milan.
North or south?
North. Yeah. So Biella is where all the mills are, the major mills. So the higher you go up on the mountain, so like
towards Como and everything, right?
yeah, so Como is going to be where the silks are.
Okay.
Yeah, so in Biella, so there's going to be Zegna, Loro Piana, Vitella Barbera. So all of these mills, we'll see some of the new designs that they're creating, but we'll actually, like I've toured Vitella Barberis. I mean, it's incredible. It's amazing. So that's where a lot of the mills are going to be. The higher you are on the mountain, the better the fabric.
Because the water's better.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yes, that is what it is. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So.
That's incredible. Like, how do you, I mean, how do you determine what's a good fabric? Like, is there on this?
It's
Like,
the
so,
feel. So
like, what is it? Like, when you're trying to, like, you're looking for a diamond, they say,
Sure.
the 4 C's or whatever.
Sure.
But, like, how do you,
So that's a great question. So there's the commercial term, and what everybody knows is the supers, super 110s, super 120s, 150s, 140s.
I don't know that. What is that? Come on there.
So that's the grading. That's how the
grade is.
Yeah. So 100s is going to be kind of your entry level
Okay.
fabric, and it's all wool. So it's 100s is going to be the entry level fabric. So then like a super 240s is going to be some of the nicer hands. So it's going to be real fine wool.
Right.
Some of the best stuff that they can make.
Yeah.
But actually, so if you take two fabrics, a super 150s, let's just say super 150s that's made in Italy, or that's made in Scotland, or made in China, they're all going to feel different.
Yeah.
Because it's going to
water.
It's going to be the water. Exactly. See?
I'm kidding, man. I'm a quick learner, Pete.
But so they've now moved to microns. But commercial, like marketing and commercial, is supers. But really, how you grade the fabric is going to be based on micron. Okay. That's going to determine how nice the feel is. So there's wool, there's cashmere, there's vicuña, which is the best fabric in the world.
What is that?
Vicuña. So vicuña is the rarest and the most luxurious fabric in the world. It's an actual animal in the Andes Mountains. So we actually get it once every 4 years.
Really?
Yeah. And it was once an endangered animal, and we don't hurt the animal.
Yeah.
But we actually just shear it from underneath his. So the best the best fabric is going to be from here to here.
Really?
Underneath his chin. It's clean. Yeah, and it's similar to wine. So there's different vintages.
No way.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? And you get it once every 4 years?
Yeah. So some years, based on the weather and what he eats, or what the animals eat and what they feed them, is going to dictate how nice the fabric is.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That is so cool. So
Yeah,
that's
it's
the
pretty cool.
finest
And
fabric in the world.
Yeah. And
From the Andes Mountains.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what are there, like 4 of these things running around?
Actually, it's yeah. I'll show you some pictures, but yeah, no, there's a lot of them.
Is that the stuff that if I went into the Monroe shop, I'd see in the vault?
And the
vault ought to be in the vault, right?
Yeah, it'd be in the vault.
It's always funny when I go in there to the vault and you got all the beautiful like lock and everything. Like, it looks very pretty, and I'm like, but it's glass. Like, just break it.
Listen, don't. The secret's out now.
Oh my God, that's unbelievable. So, I mean, do you when you're going to these shows, right, and buying these fabrics, like, what are you looking for? Are they seasonal? I mean, how do you go about this? Are you looking at things that are like just year round, or certain times of the year and stuff like that?
No,
How do you look at it?
So that's a good question. So when we first started going to these trade shows, when I went with my dad, and this is something my grandfather instilled with me, because we always operated on being the best. Like that was we always wanted to compete at the top, instead of the cheapest product.
Sure.
So when we would go to these mills, when we would go to the mills, or the mills would come to us, I said I would go to the, at the time I was 21 years old and I didn't know anything. So I told my dad, I said, instead of them showing us what everybody else is doing, let's go to let's ask each mill to bring collections that nobody else is showing. Show us the best stuff that's out there. So that's what we did. So we operated on what the best stuff, what the most unique stuff is, what mills and collections that nobody else is getting, and then that's what we provided to our clients.
Yeah.
Collections that nobody else was doing, that's very unique and special to us. So that's how we built it. That's what we look for when we go there.
That's cool. And that's what you're known for,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
That's right. That's right. It's a funny story. I was out actually in Salt Lake a couple of weeks ago, and
Oh yeah,
I was out there for a show. Actually, it's called Silicon Slopes. Long story short, but there was at this event, they actually had like this area for people to go in and kind of talk to different organizations from Salt Lake and everything like that. And there was a wonderful young man in there who had just opened a couple of years ago, Custom Clothier. And I asked him, I said, "Do you ever heard of Adrian Jules?" He goes, "Oh yeah, I know this guy." Yeah, I know this guy. So like, think about that from a national reputation. You have a very strong national reputation. How did that all come about? Is that the wholesale side of the world?
yeah,
Yeah. So a lot of these guys, maybe even this gentleman I met the other day
Yeah.
or a couple weeks ago, is taking measurements, got his nice bespoke, clothing tailor shop and everything like that out in Salt Lake. But he might be working with you guys to
Exactly.
manufacture the product.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Yeah, my cousins and my uncle have done an amazing job of creating a team to go out there and network with guys like you're talking about,
Right.
to sell our product, and we try and give them a great product that they could fit to clients and deliver it.
Right. And they put you let them put their own label.
Yeah, they
inside.
put their own label on
But
it.
does it say anything about Adrian Jules? Like,
Only if they want to.
yeah, it's white label,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Yeah. But same quality, same product, same high quality fabrics. I mean,
Yeah.
the Andes Mountain stuff, if they want it.
If they want it, we'll do it for them. Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, it's very cool.
Cool. Um, Back to Dad for a second. Have you done any cool like collaborations with Dad? Like what's like what it I know you have. So
Yeah.
let's talk about like one or two of the really cool collaborations you've done with him. Don't have to name any names. I mean, obviously these projects, some of these are sensitive and stuff like that. But I know you've done a couple cool things. And
Oh,
you guys are both very talented from a you know fashion eye perspective.
yeah, for sure. And I'm from a like who we've worked with, maybe. So
Yeah, no,
like
just like what are some of the fun collaborations
Yeah,
you've
sure.
done? Like, oh, we did this big wedding party, and I worked on this, and Dad worked on this, or we got in each other's way.
Yeah. Um,
I mean, if there's something
no,
like
no,
that,
no. We've done a lot of them. I'm trying
Yeah.
to think. I would say actually one of the most meaningful collaborations that we've done um, together. Actually, it was like I think it was more of my brothers and it was like a family. We came up with it at a family dinner because at family dinners on Sundays, all we do is talk about business. Uh,
Well, we're going to talk about that in a second. That's a question I ask everybody. But go ahead.
but we came up with this, and it's funny when my wife when we first started dating, she's like, "Do you guys always just talk about business at family dinners?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's kind of that's what we're all passionate about." But so one of the things we came up with, it was called the Rose Collection.
Okay.
So my grandfather, on all of his garments, he'd put a rose on his garment. So he put a rose on his garment. It's kind of signified that it was an Adrian Jules garment. So we went to my uncle and we said we want to make it even more more hand work. We want to use special canvases, special fabric. We're going to handpick all these fabrics, and we want to know it's going to take double. We think that it's going to, based on how much hand work we want to do to the garment, we think it's going to take double the amount of time to make. So if you can, could you figure out how many garments we can make? And he came back to us about 2 weeks later. He said, I can make 247 of them. So we did a whole video about the story of the rose and what it means to us and what it means to the family. And the collaboration was, to my grandfather. I was toast to my grandfather, and we called it the Rose Collection. We made 247 garments.
Limited edition.
Limited edition. We numbered each one of the garment.
No way.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I would say that was special because it tied in all three generations.
That is really cool. How long ago was that?
It was right before. It was probably 8 years ago.
And how did you decide who got number 1 and who got number 247 and every one of them in between?
Well,
You have number 1?
the first three.
First 3,
Yeah.
right? Went to you, Dad, and Uncle Ernie?
Yeah, yeah. So
Poor Alexis, you think?
yeah, no,
She-
she's got one.
she's got one.
Yeah,
She's
she's
got
got one.
For her, yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
yeah, it was cool. Yeah, it was special. It was a lot of fun.
that is really cool. That's cool. The family dinner conversation is really interesting.
Yeah.
So I have obviously have lots of conversations with family business owners and, multiple generations. And I think it's challenging to keep business and family separate, right?
Oh,
It really is really, really tough. So you just mentioned that on, Sunday night you're having dinner and you're all together and sounds like an amazing time and everything like that. But to your wife's point, all you guys are doing is talking about business. So like, how do you, how do you, still have, relationship with dad and relationship with Uncle Arnie and relationship with cousin Alexa, you know,
yeah.
that's not business.
Yeah. No,
How do you do that? That's tough, right?
that's tough. That's a fair point. So my mom on my mom's side, they also have their own business too. My grandfather started, so it's we've kind of have a rule that if it's within the immediate family, it's kind of fair game. We're able to where we could talk through stuff as long as we're not at the dinner table. So if we're at the dinner table, we're talking about anything other than business. But if it's before dinner or if it's after dinner over a beer or whatever, it's fair game.
Fair game.
Because it's mostly probably just kind of one-on-one.
That's right.
But when we're at the dinner, we're present and we're there with the family.
Yeah, because you got other family members that aren't in the business, right? Well, I mean, let's be honest. Every family business, everybody's in the business together. There's
Yeah.
no doubt about that. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just the way it is. But at the same time, your wife doesn't want to.
Well,
I mean, she talk shop all the time.
she
She knew what she was saying.
yeah, she loves it. She is
And what's her name?
Joelle. Yeah.
Joelle. That's right.
Oh yeah,
Sorry, Joelle. I should have been.
no, she's amazing. Yeah, I wouldn't be here without her. That's for sure. Yeah.
Did you guys meet at Niagara or like what's
We met
story?
after we met after school. Yeah, we've been together now for 13 years and
Amazing.
yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, she is the heart of what I do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So you're a big vest guy.
Mm.
I all the time. Not a lot, but many times when I see you, you're wearing a vest. What's like a vest say about somebody? I like vests, but I'm more of like IT bro vest. I've got the Patagonia on or something like that. But you've got these beautiful bespoke vests all the time. What's a vest say about somebody?
Well, to be honest, my dad all wears a vest. I've only ever seen him in a vest. I think 90% of the time he has a vest on, but it's usually in a three-piece suit. And my grandfather, he always tells a story. He says my grandfather or your grandfather always said that if you're going to be on the floor, you have to wear a jacket. And my dad would be working on people, and he didn't, he said, I'm not going to wear a jacket. I'm going to wear a vest. And
It's too hard. It's
yeah,
restrictive.
so
They got a lot going on.
they agreed on that.
They did.
So everyone's got their own unique style. So I like to do contrasting vests, jeans to jackets because it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
And I think it adds a little bit of layer, and I don't know, it's my own style.
Yeah. How would you describe your style?
Well, I would say that it's a modern subtle gentleman.
Modern, subtle gentleman.
Yeah.
All right. I like it. I'm going to go with a modern, subtle gentleman. There he is. Peter Roberti, modern, subtle gentleman.
Yeah.
All right. I love it. Well, listen, I do like the vest thing. I think I might have to do a vest, but you gotta, you gotta have the physique for it. I might be a little bit too
I
big
think
for the
you
vest.
could
You
do
think
it.
I can pull it off?
Yeah, you could do it.
All right. Let's see. Let's see. I know you can sell me anything. You're a good salesman. Very cool. So like, we're talking about the vests and all this customization and stuff like that. But my sense is that when you have a client come into Adrian Jules, you want them to have an experience.
Mm.
Can you talk about that experience? Is that something that, Grandpa started, that, Dad started, that you have started, that you've really taken to a whole, I mean, I know that,
Sure.
tell me about the experience. It's really experience.
Yeah. The experience. I mean, I literally when we were designing the showroom, the new showroom in Rochester, like I still lay in bed thinking about and analyzing each person that comes through and what their experience is like and how I can make it differently. We we in our showroom, we have, like, for example, we have a custom playlist that is based on when the it's based on when the guy comes in, based on the beats per minute and where they are, where the stylist is in the sales process. The beats per minute go up and up and up, and then based on
Seriously? Dude, that's scientific, man.
and we have speakers. We have speakers strategically placed throughout the showroom. We have we have velvet along the so in around where the lounge is.
Yeah.
We have velvet along the backside because the lounge area is a place where guys gather.
Yeah.
We on the walls here where the TV is, we put in the velvet there because it absorbs the sound.
Yeah.
So that way on the other side, if somebody's having an intimate conversation with a client, he could still do that. So and the speakers are strategically placed so that way that they could still have their conversation and do their business, and they could also in the lounge areas still have shoot the breeze, have the beer, and so on and so forth.
Right,
So
right.
a lot of thought went into that showroom. That we even we even on our the, on our coffee machine we set the degrees on our coffee machine.
This would be giving away all the
They're gonna
secrets.
kill me if they hear.
Come on, let's go.
We set the degrees so that it's a little bit hotter, so that when they have a cup of coffee, they have to stay 17 minutes
To let it cool down.
to let it cool down.
That is beautiful. Beautiful. Listen, everybody, this is your public service message from Justin Smith. Be
Stay away
careful
from
when
the
you go. Stay away from the coffee machine over there at Adrian Jules.
No,
That's so good.
No, but
No.
so I mean, again, it's not to
That's
that.
attention to detail. I mean, that's cool. I mean, you were having some fun with it,
Yeah,
anything like that. But at
It's
the end
not
of the
like
day,
it's that
I
way.
know it's not a big deal. But it's part of the experience.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Listen, I had a guy come in from out of town. He loves ice cream machines, and he's convinced us to buy an ice cream machine for our showroom. And we're gonna put in the summertime. We're gonna buy an ice cream machine.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm like, it's brilliant. And we're gonna have espresso and the ice cream. Like, it's gonna be,
It's an experience.
It's an experience. Yeah, like that. And that's a lot of guys now. Like, I've had family members when we open up the showroom, they're like, it was right. It was during COVID, and they're like, you guys are out of your mind. You and your dad are out of your mind. This doesn't make any sense. Nobody's even dressing up. But people want the experience. They want the relationships. They want to feel connected to the individual and the brand.
Yeah.
So we've been fortunate.
Yeah. The experience is a lot of fun. How has COVID changed things? I mean, I remember pre-COVID, I had always worn a suit.
Yeah.
Most days with a tie. At some point in time, I dropped the tie. I would say slightly before COVID, but
Sure.
I grew up working for Xerox, my first job, suit and tie every day. Remember,
Nice.
having suspenders during the suspender days and all that good stuff. And I just always wore a suit and tie. And quite honestly, here at Bright, certainly from a sales perspective, everybody, when we went out to visit clients and have conversations with them and ask them to spend their hard-earned money with us,
Yeah.
we wanted to look good, and I think looking good, feel good, and all that good stuff, they go
Sure.
together, right? But COVID changed it. I mean, especially in our world, IT world, I mean, it is very, very casual now.
Yeah.
This is what I'm wearing today is very unique in the IT world.
Yeah.
But generally, how's it changed your business? I mean, I see you wearing this beautiful, pair of denim jeans today. They're not, just your off the shelf jeans. They're beautiful.
Yeah.
How's it changed things for you?
Yeah. That's a great question. It's interesting because people wouldn't think this, but if we actually go back to guys just wearing suits and ties, it would actually be detrimental to our business, because now Think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So think about it. So if you run a company and, before it was easy, you wear a navy blue suit, you wear a gray suit, you do a white shirt or blue shirt, tie, you're good. Now how do you command and own the room in the sport coat and the slacks and the jeans? Like, guys don't know how to even do that. So that's where we come into play. So building that ability through sport coats, slacks, the casual, the nice denim, the shoes, the whole thing, and creating that look and still owning the room. That's we are more than willing to sell sport coats, multiple trousers, jeans, than a couple suits. Like it's really helped us, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's true customization.
Yeah.
It's that bespoke.
Yeah. And guys need help doing that. They need help putting that all together, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah. 100%. I certainly do. I'm colorblind. You know that. I mean, like, that's why I'm mostly like blues and a couple other things. What do you want? I don't know. Dude. It's just too much for me, man. I'm a simple, like, white shirt,
Yeah.
You get a little color into me, I'm feeling pretty good, right? But no, I do. I mean, I appreciate that. I think a lot of men probably struggle with that, right?
Yeah.
So
we when we opened up the new showroom in Rochester, me and my dad, we kind of sat down and we said, what do you think it's going to be like when it opens back up? And that's where we expanded this kind of elevated luxury casual section. That's where we started doing the custom jeans. We started doing the custom shoes, the sweaters, the polo, like all of, everything that we thought the guy might want or was getting, but they weren't getting it through us. Everyone knows that we can make a nice suit, but all of those other things, not everybody knew that we did it. So let's invest in a space that really shows all the other things that we could do. And we started bringing in that stuff. So
that's cool. Where's the best denim in the world?
in Milan.
In Milan still?
Yeah. Candiani denim. It's the best.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. It's the best.
It's all about Milan.
Oh yeah.
Do they have denim in the Andes too? I mean, is that the very best denim?
No, they don't. They don't have that.
Not there.
No, when we were researching denim, yeah, we went to a bunch of different mills. We landed on this mill. It's amazing.
Really?
It's incredible.
That's cool. So, like, the accessories, like, what percentage of accessories is your business today? The shoes, the belts, the ties.
It's interesting.
A lot of accessories.
Oh yeah. Well, it's interesting. If we're gonna factor in shoes and actually, it's continued to grow. The shoes. So we have a gentleman named Mario who comes in from Italy, from Florence, and he hand makes shoes. Yeah. So you step on a pad, you get your impressions. He measures the width of your shoe, the ankle height, and then you get to pick the leathers and everything.
Really?
Oh, it's incredible.
Right there, he's got what do you want to do right here?
Yeah, right there.
Really? And then he goes away. A couple months later, they arrive.
Yeah. Well,
it could take a while, right?
yeah. It's yeah.
How long does it take?
It takes
Custom parachute.
It takes a good 3 to 4 months.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
makes sense though.
Yeah.
Quality, right?
But so how it happened? One of my clients, he was telling me, he said, Pete, I could have a Vicuña suit on, but but if my feet hurt, the first thing I want to do is take off my suit. So he said, you got to find me good shoes. Find the best shoes that there is in the world. And that's where we found Mario.
Really?
Yeah. So now if you got comfortable shoes on, you're okay with it. You're comfortable. You're okay.
So what happens, like, when you have this beautiful pair of shoes and a beautiful suit, and you're living in Rochester, New York, and it's snowing to beat the band, and the salt's all over the place? Like, how do you keep those shoes? Like, you just can't wear them, right? You gotta. These are your indoor shoes.
Yeah, there's different shoes, I would say, warrant, there's certain leathers that you could get away with. Like this is Kudo leather, which is antelope skin.
Yeah.
And this, is water resistant, and it performs in the Rochester's, winters.
Yeah.
Especially this
So
winter.
you've got to be cognizant of that, though.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
outfitting somebody. When are you going to use this? Where are you?
Oh, yeah.
This?
Absolutely.
When do you intend to?
Absolutely. We go through a series of questions, getting to know them, what they're going to wear it for, so that way they get the right garment, or they get the right shoes, or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
For their lifestyle.
Let's go. Fascinating. I could ask you a million questions on that. I just kind of related to that, but not really related to that, is like master tailor. You're a master tailor. What do you have to do to become a master tailor? Do you have to like work for another master tailor to become then a master tailor? And do they like kind of like knight you master tailor at some point in time, or how does it work? Like,
Well, my grandfather. So how I got involved in the business, I don't think I shared this story yet, but so I was 14 years old, and my grandfather was a master tailor, and yeah, I was 14 years old. We went to one of these trade shows. It was in Las Vegas.
you went to Vegas with your grandpa when you were 14?
Yeah, well, my parents were there too.
Yeah.
But we bought, he bought me so this is where we do all of our buying.
Yeah.
And he bought me a black fabric and a red fabric. And he said, this summer, I'm going to teach you how to make a suit. So I grew up in the factory.
Right.
So I grew up in the factory.
As did he.
Yes.
I think he made his first pair of pants when he was like 11 or something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, so we grew up in the factory, and I made my first suit. I made it for myself. It was not good, but I still have the garment.
Do you?
Yeah.
You have it like framed?
I don't have it framed, but I do have some of my grandfather's garments framed.
I've seen it.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're cool.
So that's how I got involved in the business. That's how he taught me. I actually wanted to go to FIT, and my grandfather said, I'm going to, FIT is, when I was going to go, FIT is, we actually do a lot of stuff with FIT. We're working on a collaboration with them, but he said, why don't you go to a business school? And that's how I landed at Niagara University. That was the first school I got into, and that's that.
I'm going.
I said, that's where I'm going.
Great school. Great choice.
But he said, I'll teach you everything I know.
Yeah.
And that, between him, I had great teachers, great mentors. There's some of them are still at the shop now.
Right.
Yeah, they're amazing. I mean, so there's some of the tailors that we have and the people that work for us. I mean, they are the heart of the company. I mean, I get to be out there, but they are really, they are Adrian, Jules. I just happen to be the guy that goes and delivers the product.
That's right. Well, I mean, it's you have an incredible vision, and
Sure.
I know that's tough being a business owner and an entrepreneur to not pat yourself on the back, but you're a big part of it, obviously.
Sure.
But you're right. I mean, you're only as good as the great people you surround yourself with.
couldn't
That's
agree
a
more.
key to really being successful, is making sure that you hire great people and surround yourself with great people and treat them well. And I know you treat your folks really good. But back to the master tailor. Like, so there is no, like, he didn't appoint you, or you just like, how do you, at what point in time? So you made this suit that wasn't very good. You just told me, like, so at what point in time do you become a master tailor?
The closest thing that we have to it now
Yeah.
is we have certification for the CTDA.
Yeah.
That you have to go through certain classes to be certified to be a custom tailor, because there isn't anything, just like we're trying to actually come up with we're trying to come up with certain, you mentioned the diamonds.
Yeah.
And grading levels of clarity and stuff like that. We're actually trying to come up with something very similar for the custom tailors as well, because so people have to go through they have to get certain certifications and classes, because so we can maintain a level of standard throughout the industry.
Right.
Because it's easy to just get a box of fabrics from a mill. Well, I guess it wouldn't be that easy, but there is people that could get it if you want to get fabric and then start selling it. But if you don't go through all of the training, the tailoring, the blue penciling, the alteration classes, pattern making, we want to make sure that we withhold a lot of standards, so that way, doesn't put a bad taste in the consumer's mouth.
To me, being a tailor is somewhat like, it's sort of got like a romantic component to it, like it goes back generations and generations and generations, and you're certainly part of that, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming your grandfather's father was a tailor, or how did he get into becoming a tailor in Italy, and then gets recruited by Hickey Freeman to come over here?
Yeah, he grew up doing it in Italy. That's
Right.
That's what you did.
Especially the part of Italy.
Yeah, especially from Milan. It was everywhere.
But was his whole family, or were they all tailors? No.
I'm not 100% sure on that, to be honest. But I know my grandfather, you know, that's all I knew. I mean,
We should go back. I mean, you know, you never know. You could have like outfitted some really like royal Italians or something like
yeah,
all the way back, like multiple generations.
yeah. No, but my grandfather, I mean, it was in his DNA. I mean, he before he passed away, he was still at the factory
Amazing.
2 weeks before he passed away.
Just loved it.
Yeah. Oh, I would still call him in to do fittings. I would still call him in to do fittings on guys' stuff. Oh, it was awesome.
Okay.
He'd come in, he would do the fittings, and we go to lunch afterwards. Go to Pasta Villa, and yeah, that's great.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I get to spend all that time with the
Ah,
grandpa.
it's the best. That's some of those summers were the best summers.
I remember when I was in college, my grandfather, my father's father, worked for him, and he did all the deliveries for JTS Computer Services back in the olden days. And they used to have. This is when you used to store information on tapes, right? Like these big tapes before there was hard drives, disk drives, all this.
Yeah.
It was all on tape, right? And so part of their business was that they had this storage of all these tapes, and different businesses around town would have us grab the tapes and bring them down to them and take sets of tapes they no longer needed or backups and bring them back to the storage facility and so on and so forth. It was like disaster recovery before there was really disaster recovery. Anyway, I remember cruising around with my grandfather, my father's father, in the summer times, doing deliveries with him down to Excelis and Xerox and all these different places that we were doing business with. And it was just such a great time.
Yeah.
It's just I feel so fortunate to, like every day, spending 4 or 5 hours
Oh,
going to
yeah.
do these deliveries. And he knew everybody at the loading docks and
Yeah.
said hello when he'd come in with donuts, and then he'd talk to people for a while. I'm like, let's go, Gramp. We got to get out of here. We got another delivery to make. But he was just, I just loved it.
Yeah.
So much fun.
Yeah.
Cherish those moments. You don't think
Oh,
about
yeah.
it in that moment, but now,
Oh,
like how fortunate,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah, it's interesting because my grandfather, and even my dad and my mom, like no one ever really forced or pushed to. It just kind of felt natural. Like that's to go in the direction that I am here today. So that's the one thing that my grandfather, I would say, he did a really good job. He just kind of shared his passion and his love for it, and I kind of just fell in love with it.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's so cool. So cool. What does a grade 6 maker mean?
Hmm.
What does this mean?
Yeah, so they don't really use it that much anymore, but that's how there would be certain levels that and certain standards that we'd have to pass. They would have people that would almost, if you would go and the shows that so there's shows where there would be a kind of a spy that would go to a restaurant.
Sure.
And they would test the food out and so on and so forth. That's what they would do. So they would go in and they would have someone buy a garment, and then they would have a tailor rip it open, and they would
That's how they did?
that's how they did.
Quality.
Yeah.
So this grade 6, like the highest quality?
Grade 6 is the highest grade that you could get.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
So
That's cool.
yeah, we've maintained that level now for as far as I can know. I mean, 50 plus years.
That's so cool. Let's talk about marketing for a second.
Sure. Yeah.
Because you seem to love marketing.
Yeah.
You do a great job with it.
Oh, thank you.
From a social media perspective, a lot of really engaging things, Instagram, LinkedIn, all the good stuff.
Sure.
How have you thought about this? This is obviously something different that, the next generation of the family is bringing to the table. This isn't
Sure.
something that your dad and uncle had to do. This is stuff that you and Alexa have to do, right? And think about more specifically you. Tell me about this. And I also want to know, as you're telling me about this, how Real Fits came about too.
Yeah. So I love marketing.
I know you, lad. I could see the smile, but he loves marketing.
I just love sharing what we do, and
Storytelling.
yeah, it's storytelling. I
Right.
mean, we did a big event yesterday in Buffalo. We had 70 people that came through to it. It was a big wedding content day. We had news there, the interviews. We invited. We're doing a lot of weddings now, so we invited. We had barbershops, we had jewelers, we had 6 photographers, videographers, we had cake person, we had hair and makeup, you know, we had a bridal shop, and we did a big content day, and everybody was wedding related. So I think that we took an approach. One of the approaches that we took was in terms of marketing is that we want to develop relationships, like real relationships with, you know, the people that are making an impact. You know, in this particular case, it was for the wedding.
Wedding, yeah.
And you know, so that way we have kind of these ambassadors going around.
Referral marketing, right?
Yeah.
Like,
So
you know, the wedding planner saying, "Hey,
I just did this cool shoot with Adrian Jules.
Jules, yeah, they
blah,
make beautiful suits, they make beautiful
and
ties."
we got all these photos, and everyone grows together, you know. And I think that, as you know, then that was the whole idea behind it, is that, you know, everybody that we kind of chose are super passionate, super talented in what they do, and they're amazing. I mean, between our girl Christina that's out there in Buffalo, and the team that we built, the nucleus that we built, they're incredible. So we picked the people that are all people that are really passionate about it, and everyone kind of grew together. So
Do you find that those people think about the experience the same way you do? Are they aligned from that perspective for the most part? I mean, like I don't want to say that. I think your experience. I don't want to belittle your experience. Your experience is special. The
yeah,
stuff at Adrian Jules, but
yeah,
when you think about aligning yourselves with
sure,
other partners
yeah,
in this instance, right, or referral partners,
sure,
referral
yeah.
marketing, do you think about, you know, those people in terms of the experience that they provide and how you want it to kind of be synergistic?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I think that, you know, especially when you're collaborating, I think that, uh, you know, there's a bunch of different things we kind of look at. And I think that you kind of know within the first, you know, the first 5 minutes of talking with somebody, if you know, your DNAs are in the line,
Right, right.
you know. And I think that, you know, community is super important. Like, if they're, and and also, like, you know, I come from a position that I think there's a plenty enough business out there for everybody to have a really good
Sure.
business.
I think that's a
And
great attitude to have.
yeah, you know, there's plenty of it out
Yeah,
there.
and there's lots of competition. We have lots of
Yeah,
competition. You have lots of. It's okay.
yeah, yeah, and
Yeah,
it makes us all a little bit better, a little more
that's right.
competitive.
Hungry.
Um, so that's, you know, those are two things that we kind of look at. We also we talk to the, you know, we want to make sure they're passionate about it. You could hear that in their voice, and then also experience. Like, we walk them through, you know, what is it like if a client calls? Like, what's the experience look like?
Mhm.
And then, you know, we handpicked the people, and it was, yeah, it was pretty special. And then you've got kind of, yeah, like, ambassadors out there, and we're an ambassador for a lot of people too. A
Yep.
lot of people come to us saying, "Hey, where should we go for a restaurant? Where should we go to?" Wherever it might be. Yeah,
Sure. Right. Helping them out, venue stuff like
yeah,
that. So we've been talking about Buffalo, obviously Rochester expansion and Saratoga, but Nashville. You don't have a retail location in Nashville, but you have a presence in Nashville. Like, why Nashville?
yeah,
And like, how do people get the Adrian Jewell experience in Nashville, Tennessee?
yeah. So, we got a girl out there, Debbie. She's awesome. She's a absolute rock star. She's been in the business for uh, 40 plus years. And we've always been, like, really close. Was a
Yeah,
private label for
sure,
us,
sure.
you know. And we kind of we did some collaborations with her, and then we kind of said, "Hey, why don't we take over some of the, you know, some of the fabric ordering, the back office stuff, and all you have to do is sell." She's like, "Sign me
I love it.
up." So, and then she has also helped us kind of really expand into, doing more women's stuff, actually.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, women's
So
couture stuff.
that's a big deal. Tell me about that. I didn't know that. That's
We're still in the works.
still works. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's
Is that what you? Is it some of like when you look out in the future? I mean, is that some of what's next for Adrian Jules?
I
Women's
think it's
clothing?
one of the things.
Yeah,
You know, I think that you know, it's one of the things.
yeah.
You know, I think that it's a very delicate market. You know, it's very delicate.
Okay.
And I think that, but she does a great job. Great job.
Awesome.
And I think that she connects with with women on a different level than I can.
Of course. Of course.
So I think that there's a tremendous opportunity, because women want, women want an experience and they want clothing that's different and unique than, they don't want to be going to, it's just like guys, they don't want to be going to a gala or an event that they've got the same dress in. You got to walk into the room and they got the same dress as someone. They're going to the other end or else they're going through a door.
No, you're right. It's so funny how that thing, but I don't care. I got the same thing on as him. Hey, we look pretty good, no?
Yeah,
We called each other beforehand. That's what you and I would say. Hey, we called each other. Well, how do you think it went? Pretty good, right?
right.
That is funny. No, it's so true. So different. So different. Um, you reminded me something about the female side of your business, right? I certainly very rarely make clothing decisions without Stacy, my wife, involved. You've met Stacy; she's probably involved in some of these conversations. Part of it is because I have this colorblind thing, which is fine. And I'll be the first to say I'm not a slave to fashion. But anyway, is that a lot of the conversation? Like, do a lot of guys bring their wives and significant others and partners in, or
Good question.
because I see like a mix.
Yeah.
I've been in there sometimes too with you, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just doing this, Pete. Let's go.
Yeah. It's interesting. I think that before someone comes in for the first time, I usually ask them, I said, hey, before you come in, is there anybody else? This is an important moment, whether it's before a wedding.
Sure.
So this is an important moment. Is there anybody else, whether it be your best man, your fiance, your whoever it might be that you feel like you want to be a part of this decision, bring them along. So I would say that it's interesting. I think that for the first time, I would say it's probably, I'd have to look because we have those numbers, but I think it's around that 70%. The wife or significant other or partner will come in, and then once they meet with us, and they kind of give their approval. They're like, "Oh,
He knows what he's doing. Yeah, he looks fine. He's not gonna look like a ragamuffin. He's gonna be just fine, right?
So that's usually what happens."
That's interesting. Yeah, I'm sure you got to deal with all sorts of wonderful personalities.
Oh, yeah, it's interesting.
You must just crack you up, right?
It's interesting, the dynamics. I think that especially when you're dealing with two individuals, one's always like really into it, and it's
And it could go either way.
it could go
It
either.
could be the person that's getting the suit isn't really into it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So it's interesting. So we're always kind of navigating and managing, and so it's a lot of fun though. It's really cool. So
It's being in the service business, right? You're in the service business. You're providing a product, but ultimately you're providing a service. Right?
oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. And again, back to the experience.
Yeah.
It's all about the experience. Like, how do people feel when they walk in the door? And more importantly, how do they feel when they walk out of the door, right?
Exactly.
What do you want people to feel like when they walk
yeah.
out of that door?
It's all about the feeling. I couldn't agree more. It's about the feeling and make sure they're certain, they're comfortable, they're confident in what they're doing, that we're going to help them get to where they're at today, to where they want to go.
Cool. All right, let's switch gears again here and talk about community. Adrian Jules is very involved in the community. I know that you guys have done your Dream Big car shows in the parking lot there, and that's really fun. And people are revving the cars. It's neat to go down there and check out, the old cars and the new cars and the supercars, and it's fun. And everybody's all dressed up. It's not like sometimes your traditional car show, but that's fun. So I want to talk about that and how you kind of got into that. And then more importantly, recently, I know you're collaborating with the Golisano Institute.
Yes.
Who is a customer of Bright's. We've been working with them for a while now. Incredible story of what they're doing over there, and now expanding to Buffalo.
Oh, yeah.
But tell me about the Dream Big car show first, and then talk to me about what you're doing with Golisano, because this is really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah. Thank you. So the Dream Big car show, that started, my dad's super passionate about cars, and he's got big ideas. And we said, why don't we start doing, we started off at a poker run, and we would go to 5 different spots, and you have to buy a ticket, and we would raise, we'd all meet at Adrian and Jules, and we would go to 5 different spots around town, and at the end of it, whoever had the best hand would win prizes. But everything would go to charity. So, and there would also be people would donate prizes. I'm sorry, donate gifts to be auctioned off, and and we would raise money and we'd give it to a different charity every single year. And then we got connected with the Car Club of Rochester, James Catone. We got connected with a bunch of different guys, and they said we got to make this even bigger. And we stopped the poker run because it was just going to 5 different spots, and it kept on growing. It was
Getting crazy.
yeah. So we started we just ended up doing a car show in our parking lot, and I think we did last year it was $80,000.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Car show. Golisano Institute.
Yeah.
What are you doing there now? This is pretty cool.
Yeah, the Golisano Institute. So, it's pretty amazing. So we connected with their team, and so they had this idea of wanting to, instead of giving a gown for graduation, they wanted to do a jacket. And we were honored that they kind of
So cool.
reached out to us. We had a really good relationship with some of the people that worked there, and also Tom Golisano and my father. And so we met with the team, and they handpicked a certain color, Golisano blue, and we did all these different details of the jacket to make it unique to the university or to the institute. And it was amazing. That's the whole entire process of seeing the transformation from when we first met the student, for them at graduation. Just seeing the transition between when we met them and we measured them to the person that they came. Just their mannerism, how they spoke, everything was just. It was incredible. And then when they put the jacket on, it kind of completed the whole thing.
Right.
So they wore it at graduation, and actually we were there too. It was incredible. It was amazing. It was super special. So now we're doing it in Buffalo, and actually we're honored. They're going to do, it's called the clothing closet, and we're going to be, it's called the Adrian Jules clothing closet, and there'll be a bunch of garments that we have that we're going to donate there that we're going to alter and help people look good.
That's good. And so 2 things, I guess.
Yeah.
That was the only time where you can actually walk into a room and everybody can have this exact same coat on, and it's okay, right?
Yeah.
Right? That is okay.
Yeah.
Everybody can walk in.
Yeah.
It's seriously, like, how do you get that much of the same material? I mean,
Well,
is that a little bit of a challenge or what?
Oh yeah. Well,
Especially with Golisano blue. I mean, it was a specific
specific
blue.
color. It was a specific
not
color,
like there's-
and we ordered enough. I don't remember the exact yardage, but it was a significant amount that we store for them.
Yeah.
So that it should last. It depends how fast they grow, but it should last for a few years.
Really? Yeah, because I mean, each cohort's like 50, 60, 70 kids, right? I mean, that make it 50, 70 jackets.
Yeah. That was
That
a lot.
really cool. That's a lot.
Yeah, it was cool, but it was special. It was awesome. It was amazing. It was incredible to be a part of something like that.
And now, tell me about you have a program now where you're donating suits or for people's first interviews.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
It's called Dress for Your Destiny.
Dress for Your Destiny.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, it was. So I was upstairs in our factory, and we've got. I mean, think about the accumulation in our top floor of 60 years worth of garments that are just there. And I called my dad. I said we got to do something with these clothes. I got an idea, and I said I think I want to donate 100 garments. We're going to alter them, and we're going to give it give it to specific communities and specific organizations, and we're going to outfit them for interviews.
It's great.
Yeah, it's gonna be special. I'm super excited about it. I've just.
When does it start? When are you starting?
Well, the website should be done like this week.
Really?
Yeah.
So is it going to be dressforyourdestiny.com? Is that what
It's going to be an extension of our Adrian Jules website.
Well, good. Let's make sure we get that so we can put that on.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You could apply on
Yeah.
there and everything like that. And it should be, yeah, it's going to be special. It's going to be really special. I think it's interesting. I think that there's a disconnect. You know, part of the reason, one of the other reasons why I kind of started this is not only just because I want to do it for, we want to do it for the community, but I also found that I had clients that, fortunate clients and their kids that got an outfit for their son that graduated college, and they would go on multiple interviews, but they didn't get the job. He said, I want to give him an interview suit, and they got the interview suit, got the job. Literally the next job that they applied for. And I think that there's a misconception between the image that is portrayed out there for what you can look like in business and what you need to look like in order to get your foot in the door. So, and I think that that's the gap that we want to bridge, and we want to help people, that are super smart, super intelligent, and look the right way so that they could get their foot in the door, and then they could go up from there. But they
Yeah.
got to get in the door first.
That's a real problem, especially since COVID.
Oh yeah, they think they can wear anything they want and still get the job.
Yeah. It's that's not the case.
Yeah, and that's just my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's incredible. So this is going to start soon, and
We're doing it.
that's amazing.
Yeah,
It's
we're
cool.
doing it.
And it's it's a great use of this beautiful material that you have left over, and you can make this stuff look beautiful, and
Yeah,
it is beautiful, and
we're gonna alter it, and I think eventually the community's gonna get behind us.
that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool. You talked about your dad before as a big dreamer, but I think you're a big dreamer, weren't you?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, my dad's a big dreamer with the car show, but you're a big dreamer too. Very, very cool. Well, listen, Peter,
Yeah.
this has been amazing.
ton of
Thank
fun.
you for stopping by,
Yeah, thank you.
jumping on One Big Happy Business with
Yeah.
me. This has been a lot of fun talking family business and about grandpa and dad and cousins and uncles and
It's a lot.
community and learning about fur from here to there. And Nate there. This is the best in the world. So, and what do we call it again? Let's see. Vicuña. Vicuña. I got it. All right. Until next time, this is One Big Happy Business. Peter Roberti.
Thank you, Justin.